Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Marks on Media Live. It is my first time doing it this way, so I'm hoping everything goes well. As you can see, I actually have a banner today on the actual live stream, not just on the VOD. Checking things, huh? Yeah. All right. I don't know if Rumble is caught up or not. I guess we'll find out here soon, hopefully. YouTube is going. That's for show. Hopefully Kick and Facebook also are with me. Oh, here we go. No, that's why. Facebook, no. Rumble, yes. Kick, yes. Okay, there we go. That was the issue. All right, so that was a mess up on my part. I'm using new technology today. I've used this program only for VODs, so hopefully it goes well for everything else. My gosh, how are y'all doing today? How y'all doing? I have got all my Christmas shopping done, I believe, except for like stocking stuffers, but that's not a big deal. I don't mind that. I have never... I will tell you now, I'm like blown away. I'm like checking out. I've never actually used YouTube Streaming Studio. I've never streamed another way on Rumble. So things are new and crazy for me. I'm trying to make it so ads don't...
Hey folks, Donald Trump Jr. here with urgent news.
Gosh,
the world's central banks are making unprecedented moves. And
either way.
With this size, like even XXG would be tight on her.
I couldn't believe it when I heard my own brother say this about
that. Yes. Like, blown away. I'm like checking out. I've never actually used... All right, YouTube streaming. So we're live everywhere. Everywhere that we obviously I changed the live back, but that's fine. I'll change that eventually. That was aesthetics and whatever. That wasn't like super important, but you know, I like the new logo. I think it's a lot sleeker. It looks a lot less basic. That's for friggin' sure. And I got a lot of good feedback on it, one way or another. Man, where the hell is X, man? Oh, there we go. Duh. I want to pull something up here on X before we get into anything, get into any stories. Somebody had tried tweeting some positive stuff about Chris Chibnall and his run with Doctor Who. If anybody's been following this channel long enough, you know that I can't stand Chris Chibnall. I can't stand what he did with Doctor Who. I think it's an absolute travesty and damn near a crime what he freaking did with Doctor Who during his time there. Peter Capaldi had a good run only because not all the writing was trash. Some of it was okay, but all in all, the writing was not good for Peter Capaldi. I felt bad. He was an actual good doctor. He deserved so much more, so much better. Poor guy got the shaft in so many ways. They gave him, instead of the sonic screwdriver, he had the sonic sunglasses. They're trying to make Doctor Who hip and cool and, you know, in with the youngsters and whatnot. So stupid. So freaking stupid. And he played guitar, which was cool. I did like the electric guitar dealy, but man, just the writing was kind of all over the place. One week you'd have a great episode. Some people voted one of his episodes as the greatest of all time. I'm not going to tell you the name of it now. I did a video on it forever ago. But the one where he was like stuck in an alternate dimension and he kept dying over and over and being brought back to life, and he had to punch his way through a wall or like a crystal wall to get to the TARDIS. And a lot of people voted that as like the greatest Doctor Who episode of all time. I really can't argue because I don't have one on top of mind that I'm like, oh, this one was definitely better. But all in all, his stuff was very very mid, and I didn't like it at all. I felt, like I said, I felt bad for him, to be honest with you, because he had to deal with Chris Chibnall and his terrible writing. And then we got Jodie Whittaker, and her whole run was trash. She was not the right person. If you're going to have a female doctor, which I don't think they should, but if you're going to, she was not the right choice. The writing was just god-awful. All the political stuff, if you're going to shove it in there, which Doctor Who gets political sometimes, it's socio-political. That's what they do. But if you're going to do that, you got to be smart about it and not just like shove it, jam it right in your face, kind of ham-fistedly. It was really lazy writing, again. So I'm glad he left the show. But then we get Russell T Davies back, and it's not much better. But anyway, everybody keeps going back to, because they retcon the Doctor's entire story to now the first Doctor is not the first Doctor anymore. Now we have all these doctors that came before him, and one of them is this bigger, older black lady that I can't remember what they call her now. The refugee doctor or something. I don't even remember. But yeah, that's not a doctor in my opinion. But here's the tweet. What they said. This Guy Lambert. I had to reply to this because I was just like, wow. Whatever you think of him, Chibnall created events where Doctor Who was given the opportunity to evolve into something new, a series with potential to explore a bigger universe, develop new lore beyond the grasp of classic Who, and embrace a more modern, serialized format. To which I said, what Chris Chibnall did was not good or noble or revolutionary. What he did was take a brand that was a half a century old, rich with lore, that hundreds of people had built upon before him, and he said, nah, F that. I know better. It's forever screw Chris Chibnall. And I wanted to elaborate on that just a little bit because, yeah, what he did was he basically gave the middle finger to everybody that came before him, and he was like, but I don't like playing by the rules. I don't like having to follow all this lore. Gosh, why can't I just make my own show, but like with the same character, kinda? You know, because I like certain aspects of the show, but not all of it. Like, dude, what gives you the right? I know you're the showrunner, but what gives you the right to basically say screw you to everybody that came before you and say this lore isn't good enough, I wanted to do my own damn thing, and just ruin Doctor Who? And he did, and that's why that was the whole point of the Flux and everything else. I honestly, I've tried sitting and giving Jodie Whittaker's run a chance, and I just can't get through it. Some people really like the Flux. I freaking hated it. I hated everything about her run. I don't like her as a doctor. I don't like Chris Chibnall's writing, as I pointed out. It's just all bad. Hold on one second. Please use keyframe frequency for 4 seconds or less. Currently here. Okay. Sorry. Whatchamacallit? YouTube is giving me an error. I don't really know what to do about that. It's keyframes are not great. Okay. I'm going to try something here. Whatever. But either way, that is my rant about Chris Chibnall and Doctor Who before we get into the subjects here. Getting into our first story, though, I wanted to touch on some gaming news, baby. From comicbook.com, new PS5 game from Naughty Dog leaked. The next PS5 game from Naughty Dog, the studio behind The Last of Us and Uncharted, and at one point, Jax and Daxter and Crash Bandicoot had potentially leaked online ahead of its reveal, which, by the way, a lot of people are wanting new Crash Bandicoot, wanting new... I've heard a couple of people wanting Jak and Daxter. I know there was a group of people that really liked that game. I never played it. Crash was fun. But I think they came flat out and said, no more Crash Bandicoot, we're done with it, we don't care, we've moved on, which is like, okay, then sell the IP, man. Kind of sucks. Anyway, The studio has not released a new game since 2020, when it released The Last of Us Part 2. Since then, it has been busy with re-releases, but it has yet to ship a new game. In fact, a new game hasn't even been announced yet. Despite this, we don't actually expect the release date of this new project to be far away. Ahead of the reveal of the mystery game, which could be The Last of Us Part 3, it probably is, Uncharted 5, doubt it, or a brand new IP, again, doubt it. An interesting bit of intel has leaked online over the social media platform X. Well-known leaker Midori, who now goes by Ryan from the Bronx, reveals the codename for the next Naughty Dog game is Jordan. Revealing how they know this, they note that it is a official Slack URL for the project that redirects to an enterprise SSO page for Sony Interactive Entertainment employees. Concluding, the leaker claims that this is indeed for a current project in development and not a canceled project or a project that has already been released or announced. He says the codename for the next Naughty Dog project is Jordan. This is the official Slack URL for the project, which will redirect to an enterprise SSO page, blah, 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 confirming the codename and Slack channel as legitimate. And yes, this is their next or current project in development. This is not a canceled project or blah, 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 blah. We already went through that. So, yeah, they've confirmed that. Obviously, from what I just said, they haven't said what it's going to be. But I did a video. Oop, my bad. Flipped around my screens too much. Anyway. I did a video not too long ago about, what was it? The Last of Us. The Last of Us Part 3 is allegedly in the works. And the reason for people speculating that, or there are a few different reasons. The main one is they need they need more material for like a season 3 of The Last of Us, because The Last of Us season 2 is coming up, and it's going to be big. So I'm sure. So what they're going to want to do is get more material for a season 3 and keep that money, that gravy train rolling. I don't see why they wouldn't. And I liked the season 1 of The Last of Us. It was pretty good. Season 2, if they stick to the game, they haven't said whether or not they're going to be 100% accurate with the game or not. I don't want to give major spoilers if people aren't. Oh, hey Noah. If people aren't like all caught up on the game, they don't want to know, they haven't played the game, all that. Somehow they've avoided all the spoilers. I'm not going to ruin it. But yeah, my wife, she loved the first game, refuses to play the second game because she knows what happens near the beginning of the game, and it sets the tone for the rest of the game. It's let's just say The Last of Us Part 2 is very divisive. Some people really like it, some people really hate it. Part 3, if they make a Part 3, I don't know, it could be, hopefully they go back and they try to make up for the sins of the past. I don't know. Or they might get more divisive and stick with that. A lot of people argue over the television series, too, whether it's good or bad. I think it's fine. I really enjoyed watching it, to be honest with you. I don't see anything wrong with it. There were a few things where I'm like, oh my gosh, we didn't need a whole episode over the gay love story with Bob or Bill, or I think his name was Bill. I don't remember. It was fine. It was well acted, but like, okay, we're going to take a break from everything to just see what these, to watch these dudes fall in love over the zombie apocalypse. Okay, cool. Hey, buddy. Some kitty time. But yeah, season 2 might be really good, or it might be just as divisive or more divisive as the game. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Every time I'm talking really loudly, he wants to come get in front of the mic and the camera, rub himself all over my equipment. Sorry, bud. Come Chunky kitty. Uncharted Part 5, I don't know. I'm still on Part 3? Yeah, I'm on Uncharted 3. But from what I've heard, Part 4 is really good, and they wrap up the Uncharted story really well. So I don't know where they could go with a Part 5. Maybe you guys have some ideas down in the comments, or if you want to hit me up on social media and give me some ideas where you think they could go if they decide to go with an Uncharted 5. A lot of people think it would be a disservice, however, to the Uncharted series and how they left it. Either way, speaking of disservices here, Horizon fans call new game a blatant ripoff. Horizon is another one of those divisive games. But Tencent Games and Polaris Quest have announced their newest open-world title, Light of Motirum? Light of Motirum. And some viewers have left scratching their heads. The title has caused an uproar on social media as it boasts striking similarities to Sony Interactive Entertainment and Guerrilla Games' award-winning Horizon series. No action has been taken against the company, but there's no doubt that the controversy will be dealing with it in coming weeks. Yeah. Okay. Or will be dealt with, excuse me. I was like, that didn't sound coherent. Light of Motirum, or Motirum, excuse me, Motirum, is a cross-platform MMO that lets players build shelters, train over 100 customizable mechanic animals, and use them in battle against formidable bosses. Gameplay-wise, the title is different from the action-adventure Horizon series. The situation does invoke recent memories of the Pal World controversy with the Pokemon Company. I'm going to talk about that here in a second when we wrap this up. But according to the Epic Games page, the synopsis reads, quote, "In a world overrun by colossal machines, explore the vast open world, build your base of operations, advance technology, train mechanimals, and take on formidable bosses. Starting from the primitive age, forge a new path of development." For those who haven't played the Horizon series, the premise is based on a far-off future where colossal machines rule the Earth, and humanity is only survived by those who live within unique tribes. Viewers have also pointed out that the title card is eerily similar to Horizon series, even boasting a red-haired female protagonist on the left-hand side of the poster. Let me pull this up on Twitter here. This is not going to show. I'll go back to the article here in a sec. Twitter, X, whatever. You know what I mean. Guerrilla better be calling their lawyers. Maybe it's just me, but Light of Motirum looks a hell of a lot like Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West. Nintendo sued Pal World, and it worked. Did it, though? The lawsuit's still ongoing. Okay, so I'm just going to say, is it one from one game and one from the other game? Or is it like 2 and 2? This one isn't even loading. There we go. Okay, it's not good when you put up 4 pictures and go, which one is which? You can thank IGN for the low quality footage. So this is, okay, this is Light of Motirum right here. Okay. I have not played Horizon, so I can't comment. I don't know. Every great game has its cheap knockoff. It gives birth to new ideas. Okay. They aren't copying the genre. If you can't see the issue, don't reply. Damn. What worked? Read it again. Okay. Man, this guy is getting, like, snippy. Nope, didn't work. Still ongoing. That's what I'm saying. This is not cool. What the hell? Out of creativity or what? Oh, good God, I'm seeing a lot of that. Sony must have a team of ninjas ready. Not sure if racist. Holy F, this is a straight up ripoff. They're not even trying to make stuff look different. LOL. Nintendo is in the process of suing Palworld, so it has not been successful yet. Nintendo is also not suing over how visually similar Palworld is. I mean, they kind of are. They are suing over copyrighted mechanics from Pokemon Legends Arceus, that Nintendo shouldn't have been allowed to copyright. Why not? Like this absolute ass, shameless. I get that reference. Okay. Anyway. So that's that. It looks similar. The guy's a little snippy, I'll say, on X, but that doesn't take away from his point. And then it talks about the series gaining traction, blah, blah, blah. While these games didn't meet expectations, fans have been anxiously waiting for a third installment to be announced. It was spotted last week that Guerrilla Games is reportedly looking to hire a release QA intern, hinting at its long-awaited debut online. The unannounced title is rumored to be an MMO within the Horizon universe. Seeing the light of Motirum will have an experience on PlayStation 5 and PC. The next few weeks will be an interesting series of events if rumors are true. Yikes. Okay, so yeah, I mean it's hard to deny that the games look strikingly similar. And like I said, when you put up 4 pictures from 2 games, and I'm sitting there going, which is from which game? Not good. Believe me, not good. And sorry, my buddy just sent me a recipe that I've been wanting. Okay. All right. Anyway, yeah. So, I have not played Horizon. I can't comment on the mechanics. I don't know if. I guess they're mostly talking about the look, not the mechanics. So the look is very strikingly similar. It seems like the game mechanics, from what the article was saying, are a little bit different, so I'm not sure if they really have much of a copyright leg to stand on. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. It's a little weird. We'll be talking about Snow White in the future, by the way, here on this show. If you noticed, Rachel Zegler was in the was in the URL. I've got something to say about her that's not necessarily about her, but something that happened on my YouTube comments recently. It kind of blew me away. But getting into this next story here. New update to Riot Games' Terms of Service gives League of Legends dev the right to respond to players' off-platform conduct with penalties in-game. That's insane. You're not, this is like an employment contract. You're playing an effing game, bro. Another day, another step closer to blanket internet authoritarianism. This time, as League of Legends developer Riot Games has updated their terms of service to allow them the right to issue in-game penalties to players who engage in harmful off-platform behavior while using any of the company's video game services. My God. As detailed in in a November 26 blog post published to the developer's official website, this change, one of 4 recently made to said user agreements in service of evolving with games and content ecosystem to make the best possible experience for our players and creators, clarifies that off-platform conduct and behavior connected to our IP is now subject to our terms of service. Well, what constitutes connected to our IP? Is it just like that you have an account with them? Our intention with this update is to help protect players from harmful behavior they can experience across the various places that touch their gaming experience, explained Riot Games. This update applies very specifically and only to content where Riot's games are the background of the content produced. Though we aren't going to proactively monitor everything that happens across social media, it is now within our rights to issue penalties in-game when that content is brought to our attention. So, and here they give a TLDR. If you say or do things that breaks the terms of service while broadcasting or creating content about our games, we can restrict access to your Riot accounts and suspend your partner privileges if you are a part of our partner program. Okay. It's not as bad as I thought it was, but that's still really effed. Notably, though, the updates only specifically mention that this new penalty potentially applies to content about our games, including League of Legends, Legends of Runeterra, Valorant, and the upcoming fighting game 2XKO. It is currently assumed that it is also in effect for any and all content relating to Riot Games' wider catalog of media, such as the Netflix series Arcane, or the various albums released by the in-game bands Pentakill and KDA. Okay. They also introduced clauses stating that content that promotes breaking our terms of service, specifically sponsorships, for and content around boosting services and buying/selling accounts is now subject to penalty. Stream sniping is explicitly against our rules, and players who do so may be penalized. And for the rare occasion a serious egregious violation occurs, we are now including Riot-wide bans in our penalty system. Man. Okay, so if you're streaming their game and saying or doing something they don't like, or if you're posting a YouTube video saying or doing something they don't like about their games, like if you're commentating on their games and their decisions and whatnot, or you got the game playing in the background or something while you're talking about something unrelated, they can completely suspend you from their platform, limit your account, suspend you, whatever penalty they see fit, basically. So, yeah. Total internet authoritarianism. If you criticize the company or the game on YouTube or whatever, Kick, Twitch, they will basically prepare to get effed by the long junk of the law is what it's going to be, because they will give you no quarter for that kind of backsass. Damn it. Your account is not safe, I'll say. All right. I don't know if that's going to affect them at all. I highly doubt they're going to back down on that, because these companies stick to their stupid decisions until it bites them in the ass, and then they still stick with it most of the time, but whatever. If you don't like it, quit playing League of Legends. That's all I got to say. It's an incredibly popular game, but oh well. Last gaming story I got here about another terrible, terrible company. This company's even worse. I actually just posted a video about something to do with them the other day, about Elon Musk wanting to buy Hasbro. So this right here, Wizards of the Coast designer who authored Dungeons and Dragons: The Making of Original D&D, writes off fans unhappy with books insulting of games creators. Quote, "I consider those people not worth listening to." Yeah. So if you criticize me in any way, shape, or form, you're not worth listening to. Yes, you heard that right. In the latest example of those in charge of a classic nerdy hobby, proclaiming themselves to be better than its longtime fans, Wizards of the Coast designer Jason Tondro has admitted that when writing Dungeons & Dragons: The Making of Original D&D, he did not care that readers may disagree with the book's denigration. Gosh, sorry, slow day. The book's denigration of the game's original creators, because, simply put, he considers anyone who would get upset about it to be not worth listening to. Well, of course. You crap on the creators of what you're currently writing about, And then when people are like, hey, maybe that's a little effed up and you're being disingenuous, then they're like, how dare you? You're not worth listening to because you disagree with me. That's why Blue Sky exists, by the way, because one particular side of the aisle wants to live in an echo chamber, and that's why people like Meathead there, Rob Reiner, checked himself into a mental health facility, rehab, whatever, because he had such a mental breakdown from people disagreeing with his opinions online. These people are nuts. I'm just going to say, for all the crap they talk online, they sure are nuts. As previously reported in his book, Tondro spends a decent amount of the book text going out of his way to apologize for the fact that the original version of the game was not sufficiently progressive by modern standards. In doing so, suggesting that its creators were inherently bigoted themselves. Wow, it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. In one instance, Tondro writes, quote, note that the rules for fantastic medieval war games campaigns that made up the original D&D were created by and sold to a wargaming community that was almost exclusively white middle-class men. Maybe that's all who gave a crap about it back then. This was not mainstream, bro. It was white nerds in the suburbs playing this game. Quote, the rules compiled here offer little by way of roles for other players, nor indeed for anyone who wouldn't easily identify with a pulp sword and sorcery hero. Yeah, that's kind of the point of the game. The game doesn't change for you, you change for the game. That's the way it's always supposed to be. That's a new phenomenon that people can't wrap their freaking heads around. Especially before 1974, the rules made light of slavery in addition to including other harmful content. Yikes. Later on, Tondro further warns readers, quote, some language in the first iteration of D&D presents a moral quandary. The documents reproduced in this book include many pages of charts and tables alongside lists of monsters, spells, and magic items. But that game content also includes a virtual catalog of insensitive and derogatory language, words that are casually hurtful to anyone with a physical or mental disability, or who happen to be old, fat, non-conventionally attractive, indigenous, black, or a woman, and he capitalized black, so you know he's a serious human being. Quote, some people have charitably ascribed this language to authors working from bad assumptions. He continues, in the 1970s, historical wargamers in America were predominantly white, middle-class men. It isn't surprising that they would dub a class of soldiers the fighting man, but when in the pages of the expansive module Greyhawk, the description of the Queen of Chitosi, dragons includes a dig at women's lib, the misogyny is revealed as a conscious choice. He also asserts, it's an unfortunate fact that women seldom appear in the original D&D, and when they do, they're usually portrayed disrespectfully. Slavery appears in original D&D not as a human tragedy, but that devastated generations over centuries, but as a simple commercial transaction. These people can't get out of their 2024 mindsets. Their coastal elite 2024 mindsets. This was not the way the majority of America or the world thought before present day. The way you're talking about this, the way you're setting all this up is disingenuous and does not put yourself in the mind of people back then. And I'm sorry, no, you're not more virtuous today than they were back then. Cry about it. It's just, good Lord, quit ruining everything for everyone. The cultural appropriation of original D&D ranges from the bewildering, like naming every 6th-level cleric a llama, to the staggering, the reference book Gods, Demigods, and Heroes, not reprinted in this book, includes game statistics for sacred figures revered by more than 1 billion people around the world. He then recalls, were players expected to fight Vishnu, one of the principal deities in Hinduism, kill him, and loot his +3 sword of demon slaying? Sounds cool to me. I don't know. Closing out the preface, Tondro ultimately opines, despite these shortcomings, D&D has always been a game about people choosing to be someone unlike themselves and collaborating with strangers who become friends. It has slowly become more inclusive, and as the player base has become more diverse, the pool of creators who make the game expanded to include people with a broader range of identities and backgrounds. As these new creators make the game more welcoming, the game has attracted new fans who, in turn, continue to make the game more inclusive. The future of Dungeons & Dragons here at its 50th anniversary is bright. No, not really. Less people give a damn. I take that back. A lot of people do give a damn about Dungeons & Dragons. Less people are starting to take it seriously because they got into it, they really liked it, and then people like you came in and decided this isn't inclusive enough. We need to make it super gay and diverse, and everybody needs to see themselves in it. This was about, like what you just said, it's about becoming something that you're not. It's not about seeing yourself in the game. Sure, if you want to say, my character has dark skin, whatever, who gives a crap, good for you. But you're not going to get far by saying, my character is in a wheelchair, or, whatever the F. Or, just any personal label that you want to throw on the character. I mean, I guess you can. Some of it might actually hinder you in the game depending on what you're deciding to throw on your character. But why do you, it's the same thing with video games. I'm playing a game to play somebody who's not like me. I would not want to play as myself in a video game. That would suck. I can't do the stuff that Jin Sakai can in Ghost of Tsushima. I can't do the stuff that Nathan Drake can do in Uncharted. I can't do the stuff that Lara Croft can do in Tomb Raider. I can't do the stuff that Kratos does in God of War. I don't want to play as them. I don't want to be in the shoes of... I want to play as Geralt of Rivia. I don't want to be Geralt of Rivia, okay? When I play a game, I am that character. I am playing through the eyes of that character. They are not me. That would suck. And the same thing with this. Was some of the language a little rough for being released in the 1970s? Sure. Absolutely. But, man, get a grip. And it's leading to this, which I included in my Elon Musk wants to buy Hasbro thing. Elon Musk tweeted, nobody, and I mean nobody, gets to trash E. Gary Gygax and the geniuses who created Dungeons & Dragons. What the F is wrong with Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast? May they burn in hell. And then somebody said, you should buy Hasbro. He replied, how much is it? He joked about that originally with Twitter, and then the joke became reality. He bought Twitter and turned it into X. And then he did the same thing with, or he might do the same thing with MSNBC, because somebody said you should buy MSNBC. It's going up for sale. He said, how much is it? I think that would be a funny troll, but I don't know if that would be worth his time. Hasbro, though, has a lot. I don't know if Hasbro, how the Hasbro Wizards of the Coast thing works. If he would also get complete Wizards of the Coast IP, maybe. I don't know if that would be... Because if so, he would also get Magic the Gathering. But if it's just Hasbro, then... yeah, I don't know. It's still a good investment. It would be Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, My Little Pony, Transformers, and Dungeons and Dragons. So I don't know. We can't always rely on Elon to come swooping in and buy everything and save everybody. There needs to be somebody else that needs to step up and do something. But man, just quit playing Dungeons and Dragons, man. Quit buying their books. Quit giving them your money. Quit buying their little figures and whatever else. Just move on. Let it die, and then somebody else can that actually cares about it and wants to bring it back to its roots can buy it and build it back up. It doesn't always have to be Elon, but enough people need to stand up and say enough is enough. This is not the Dungeons and Dragons that I like, that I grew up with, or that I respect, and I'm moving on. Same thing with Magic the Gathering. F them for what they did with the J.R.R. Tolkien Lord of the Rings characters. Like, they made Aragorn black, and they made his sword look like it came out of Star Wars or something. Effing stupid. And then when anybody called them out on it, they of course called them racists and said they're not worth listening to either. Just like this idiot who said, with people that say, dude, you're disrespecting the people that created this thing that you're able to write about and that you're currently destroying. It's just like what I mentioned with Chris Chibnall giving the middle finger to every, the hundreds of people that came before him with Doctor Who, said, no, I know better. I can do better with Doctor Who. So F these people, and may they burn in hell, like Elon said. So, real quick, gonna pause for station identification. If you want to follow me on YouTube, if you want to subscribe to that channel, it's youtube.com/@MarksOnMedia. On Rumble, it is rumble.com/C/MarksOnMedia. And if you want wrestling stuff, I've got my old wrestling podcast, Main Event Marks. It is still on my YouTube channel. I've got some of the videos. It was a podcast, but it's some are in video form. I've got them up on Rumble for rumble.com/C/Main Event Marks. And I am also on pretty much any social media you can possibly think of. As you can see in the border around here, up there, it is X and Instagram. I'm at at Marks_on_media. Nothing is, the same with my social media, unfortunately, because of the rules for various sites. But I'm also on Facebook right there, Marks on Media Tube on Facebook. I am on Blue Sky. I am on Gab Social. I am on Truth Social. I am on Getter. All of them, just look for Marks on Media. You'll find me. I've got the same logo, the brand new logo right here. What do you guys think of that? Yeah, pretty sleek. You like it? I think it looks a lot better, a lot more professional. So I'm gonna keep that one. But I am on basically anywhere social media lives. Usually I stream on Facebook. The stream is not working today on Facebook with this new thing. I am on Kick. You can find me on Kick if you really want to follow me there. It's not as reliable. I'm gonna see. I'm actually gonna go right now to the hell. I'm going to go to Marks on Media. Oh, I've not changed my logo on there. Suck. Yeah, it's not letting me. Poop. Oh, well. Yeah, it's got my last live stream on there. Crap. Alright, so not live on Facebook today, unfortunately. But, yeah, and Facebook's always the last one to get updated for me, to be honest with you. So if you want to follow me on X or Instagram, Gab, Getter, Blue Sky, True Social, whatever, I'm on there almost pretty much every day, all the time. If you message me, I will get the notification pretty much right away or shortly. If I'm not busy, I'll reply to you and talk to you on there. And also on YouTube and Rumble. If you comment on there, I pay attention to my content all the time. So if you comment on one of them, I'll interact with you. Anyway, getting back to the the actual stories here. Real quick, checking the streams. Looking good, looking good. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Let's talk about not the story I wanted. Let's talk about this. Rachel Zegler's Snow White trailer finally releases on YouTube. Dislikes begin to pour upon Disney. And this, when was this posted? December 3rd. So we're 2 days removed from that, and it's only gotten worse. After nearly 2 weeks, the Walt Disney Company has decided to finally put the Snow White live-action remake trailer on YouTube. The company had kept the trailer exclusive to showings before Wicked and Moana 2, without comment as to why it was hidden away everywhere else. The truth is almost certainly a very coordinated positive PR campaign to protect Moana 2 that seems to have been quite successful. Yeah, Moana 2 has made oodles of money, even though it's not doing great. Let me see if I can pull it up here really quickly. Not to I'm easily distracted, I know, but I'm just curious because I have not heard the greatest of things about the movie. I'm still going to watch it. I'm excited to see it. I loved Moana. I will watch it. Here we go. Moana 2. Oi. Okay. Rotten Tomatoes. So the tomato meter sits at 63% for, so that's critics. Critics give it 63%. But the people give it 87. That's not terrible. In comparison, Gladiator 2, 71% critic score, 83% from the people. Not bad. I'm excited to see Gladiator as well. Slightly better on the critics score than Moana, but slightly less on the people score. Wicked is just ruling ass with everything. There you go. You can watch my Wicked review when you get the chance. But let's get back to this. So anyway, oops. There we go. Okay. The preview trailer for Snow White was released early 2024 and was a colossal failure for Disney's Alan Bergman. The VP who oversees the film side of the company was likely quite displeased to see the trailer becoming one of the most disliked movie previews in the history of cinema. It was well earned. Rachel Zegler, the star who played Snow White, has been a part of controversy after controversy, whether it's been calling the prince of the story a stalker, or claiming the original Walt Disney film is dated, or weighing in on Middle Eastern politics in crude and obtruse ways. Zegler has been anything but princess-like. And who can forget her preemptively declaring that she would not be bleaching her skin for the role? Yeah, that was weird. Who the hell? Like, what? Truly, Zegler has been anathema for any kind of cinematic success. But with Moana 2 releasing last week, and Disney desperate to get this trailer out to the public, or into the public sphere without significant controversy, a strategy seems to have been hatched that has proven fairly adept thus far. Disney elected to largely keep Snow White hidden from the public. No YouTube video was released, so no audience feedback was possible. Disney simultaneously kept the Moana 2 reviews embargoed until 2 hours before the film released. That's crazy. As a result, 2 potentially damaging narratives were unable to take hold. First, Disney didn't have to defend Snow White as Wicked soared at the box office, a scenario that could have dampened Moana's enthusiasm. And second, holding Moana reviews until the film released meant that no Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny story could happen. Was that where I'm not so familiar with that one. I didn't follow that saga too much. I know the movie was not great. Was it that like they had a little bit of audience excitement, then reviews came out and said it was garbage and everybody decided not to go? I wouldn't doubt it. It was not great. I think it was better than Crystal Skull, but that's not saying much. Or at least, well, I'll say it was on par with Crystal Skull. But people went to see Moana 2 often because they had no idea how bad the film is. Today, it is teetering around a rotten rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I just showed you guys that. It's okay. A website that already is crafted in such a way to protect big-budget films from such a stinky and stinging label. Anecdotally, my wife has heard about people just flat out walking out during the movie. Like, I can't possibly be that bad. Like, it's bad enough where you're walking out of Moana. Like, give me a break. But now, with both missions accomplished for Mickey, Disney has finally released the Snow White trailer to the public. The result has not been pretty. Nope. And there they have the plug-in to show. It's way worse than that now, by the way. Let's see, Snow White dislike ratio on YouTube after less than 1 hour. Yeah, okay. That's crazy. However, protecting Moana 2 from Snow White seems to have worked out wonderfully for Disney CEO Bob Iger et al. And really, what more could you ask for? The Snow White trailer, of course, is rather awful, ugly, disconcerting CGI. Okay. / AI dwarves actually seem to make audience members feel a sense of disgust. Yeah, I'm the only one. I'm like, whatever. It's CGI dwarves. They look bad. I didn't expect them to look good, but, whatever. The evil queen is more beautiful than the princess. Also, her acting in this one, for all the people saying, oh, Gal Gadot can't act her way out of a paper bag and whatever. She's not a good actress, but she did fine with this role from what I've seen. And then it's her and all the prosthetics when she's the old lady, the old witch, whatever. And she seems to be doing great there as well. Like, I feel this is a good role for her. There's not a whole lot of, like, deep acting that goes into being the evil queen. But also, if you look back through the history of Evil Queen, Snow White characters, the Evil Queen is almost always better looking. Almost always. So that's just a thing. Somebody actually said the other night that they were in film school when Snow White and the Huntsman came out, if anybody remembers that. Shout out. And they said their film professor said, it's an incredibly unbelievable movie because there is no world in which Kristen Stewart is better looking than Charlize Theron, and they feel the same way about Rachel Zegler. So, yeah. Either way, where was I? Let's see. Snow White not only saves the prince in the trailer, but she also appears to be leading a socialist revolution against the monarchy. Effing nuts, yeah. It may be one of the last byproducts of a super woke Hollywood era that is already seen as a stain and tremendous failure in the history of cinema. My, oh my, how things have changed. Yeah, and it sucks that Snow White had to fall victim to this because it's a good story and my wife would have loved it, but now she's going to refuse to see it. One thing seems certain, though, none of the cringe has changed for Snow White, and at this point, Disney is far better served attempting to throw all of their marketing at Lilo and Stitch. That one still has Ohana. Snow White just has Oh the Horror. Okay, cool. And there's no end in sight for the plight of this film until it finally makes its way through the box office and off onto a forgotten cubbyhole in streaming. Yeah. And I think that's about the end of it. It's just like blank after that. I think the page messed up. Anyway. Regardless. Yeah, dude. Somebody, I will say this. Somebody the other day got like so heated mad at me in my comment section because I refused to say that Rachel Zegler was ugly. I was like, I think it's just stupid if you're trying to tell me that she's ugly. You can think she's not attractive, whatever, I get it. But if you're going to sit there and try to say that she's ugly, I think you're disingenuous. And as much as I love Jeremy from The Quartering, he said the same thing one day. He was like, she's just an ugly woman. And I'm like, when did this become a thing? Like, yeah, her personality is extremely ugly. There's no getting around that. But to sit here and tell me, oh, this is just a hideous woman. like I don't know. I just feel like that's disingenuous. I feel like that's like she's not hideous. And then this guy tried to say that I was somehow a homosexual because she looks like a Taiwanese ladyboy, and therefore I'm into men and whatever. Like, it was such a stupid, immature discussion. I was like, dude, I don't. And he was like, why are you trying to convince me that? I'm like, okay, I don't really care if you find her attractive. That I don't care, but I'm telling you, I think it's stupid for you to sit here and say that she's ugly. But I think Gal Gadot's far better looking. But whatever. Looking at this, because YouTube hides all this stuff. That trailer, the official trailer, right now is sitting at, which, by the way, Disney changed their YouTube icon, whatever, to Mufasa from that movie coming out, which I'll probably watch it, but I'm definitely not going to the theater to see that crap. But Disney's Snow White trailer released, let's see, in theaters March 21st. It has 5,344 views, 23,179 likes, to 533,506 dislikes, which means 96% downvote. It's also got 29,955 comments. Kind of interested to see what the comments are. Maybe we can take a look at some of those. I'm not watching that trailer again. Don't make me. Gal Gadot was the highlight of the whole thing. Not that she was fantastic, but again, I think this is a role that she can fit in. My God. All right, here we go. Here's where the fun is. 1, immediately pause video. 2, read comments section. This guy's got 399 replies. Wow, Disney, you truly are incredible. It took you 3 years, multiple rewrites, unnecessary CGI, and $209 million just for me to enjoy a comment section of a movie I will never watch. Bless you. If I saw this movie on a plane, I would still walk out. Rachel Zegler wished that I would never know peace. Unfortunately, that means I can't watch the movie in a theater because that theater would be the most peaceful and empty place on Earth. I'll give Disney some credit. They are brave enough to leave the comment section open. That is very true. Also, yeah, this is the same woman. I don't care how you vote, but she literally came out after the U.S. election and said she wished that 49% of the country, 49+% of the country would never know peace. Yeah, okay, so F you and your movie, I guess. So, this trailer saved my dad. He has been in a coma for 8 months, and when I played this trailer, he woke up and got out of bed to turn it off. Thank you, Disney. Why is Lord Farquaad playing Snow White? Yeah, the hair is something. Disney, we are going to release Snow White in theaters, and that apparently everyone hates. Warner, we're going to release Coyote vs. Acme, written by James Gunn, and that everyone wants to see. Or we're never going to release Coyote vs. Acme. Got it. Thanks, Hollywood. Yeah, that is true. That was a big thing there for a while. At this point, the comment section is the real magic mirror. For people who don't use the extension currently, yeah, that one's a little old. Evil Queen to the mirror. Describe Snow White to me. Mirror. Weird. When there is more comments than likes, you know the comment section is going to be good. At this point, the monetization of this video is going to earn Disney more revenue than the movie itself will. I mean, you got to sit through the ads, so maybe not. But I got a feeling that this movie gonna have more comments on YouTube than tickets sold. Well, that's not going to be hard to achieve. Disney, coming to a theater near you. Me, is that a threat? It looks like the best, most state-of-the-art CGI 2002 has to offer. All right, that's enough of that. That's... man. I don't feel bad for Disney at all. This is a what do they call that? A what of your own making? A whip of your own making, or whatever? I don't remember the actual phrase, but something to that effect. They did this to themselves, basically. They made this bed, they can lie in it, and they can suck a big butt. They're going to lose a crap ton of money on this movie, and I couldn't be happier about it. At this point, it's not, are they going to lose money? It's how much money are they going to lose? Okay. I just want to show this one off real quick. This is the last movies-themed story I got. So, I Know What You Did Last Summer reboots reveal first look at Fisherman's Return. Let's see. Fisherman, also known as Ben. In the film, Julie, Barry, Helen, and Ray accidentally run him over and presume him dead. Unfortunately for them, that is definitely not the case. When the next summer rolls around, he stalks them. He reappears through the films, always finding ways to evade death or resurrect. So they hit a crazy guy? I mean, I know that was the point of the movie. I never watched the whole thing, but I know the point of them. In the first look, the person appears to be in a dusty room with a CRT mirror. They are wielding the hook in their left hand with a slate next to them, confirming filming has begun. The reboot is confirmed to star Freddie Prinze Jr., who is returning as Ray. Jennifer Love Hewitt is in active talks to return as Julie. However, when it comes to Helen, fans shouldn't expect any witchy voodoo there, as Sarah Michelle Gellar so pointedly wrote on Instagram, "I am dead." Well, there you go. And there's the ice pick. Right there. Again, I didn't watch the movies, so I don't know when, who dies, who doesn't die, whatever. They said this is a reboot, but then they said characters are coming back to reprise their roles, so that doesn't seem like much of a reboot to me. Several up-and-coming stars. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know any of these people. It's also part of the project, blah, 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 blah. Plot details remain slim, yeah. They said they will not ignore the events to create even larger plot holes. Okay. This film will make money. These kind of films always do. So, whatever. It's not going to be a huge budget for the film, and everybody always likes horror films. People like nostalgia, especially like 90s nostalgia. That's why the Scream, Scream 5 and 6 did so well. Scream 4 did okay. I'm sure Scream 7 will do great because they're bringing back Neve Campbell. And also they're going to have... I forgot because I really didn't pay attention to the last two Scream movies very well. But they're bringing back Neve Campbell, and she's going to have one of her daughters in there. And apparently they said in one of the previous movies she has 3 daughters. I don't know, but Isabel May, is playing one of the daughters, and she's going to be the only one seen in the movie. Let me see if I can get my... Yeah, she walked to the back of the room. She's gonna lay down. My puppy just walked in the room. My gosh. Okay. So, sorry, I'm trying to pull up the next exit, bro. Here we go. All right. Got the next stories pulled up. That was quite the feat. Yikes. But we're going to talk some Harry Potter now. I actually just recently rewatched. Why is nothing cooperating for me? Dang, man. The page that didn't want to pull up, it's working. The page that did pull up right away, it's not working. For context, my wife has always hated Harry Potter. She never cared about Harry Potter. We watched the movies together. She never watched them growing up. She never read the books. And I finally got her to, she was like, I'll rewatch them with you over Thanksgiving week, whatever. She didn't know there were 8 films, by the way. She completely forgot about all that. But she's like, I'll rewatch them with you, and, you know, I'll try to get into them. And I was like, all right, you know, just we'll watch the first one, or the first couple, and see if you like them, see if you want to stick with them. She got really into them. She really liked them. And I mean, it's not her favorite, but she has a newfound respect for it. She got into the movies, actually. She likes the Harry Potter character. Her favorite character is Severus Snape. So one of these stories I'm about to cover is pissing her off, just the idea of it. But this first one, I don't hate this one. Variety. Voldemort actor Ralph Fiennes, I think it's Fiennes, I never learned how to pronounce his name, is all in favor of Cillian Murphy taking over the Harry Potter villain in HBO's TV series. He's a fantastic actor. First of all, nobody should ever have a problem with Cillian Murphy doing anything, pretty much, except they were talking about him being the Batman, and I'm like, I don't know about that one, Chief. But Voldemort, hell yeah. Voldemort actor Ralph Fiennes, and I keep calling him Rob Fiennes for some reason. Voldemort actor Ralph Fiennes is giving his blessing to Cillian Murphy to take over the role of the infamous Harry Potter villain should the Oppenheimer Oscar winner want in on HBO's upcoming television series. Rumors have circulated online in recent weeks claiming Murphy is being considered for Voldemort. Fiennes was asked to respond during an interview on Bravo, Watch What Happens Live. Cillian is a fantastic actor, Fiennes said. That's a wonderful suggestion. I would be all in favor of Cillian. Not hell yeah, just yeah. I added that last one. Fiennes first appeared as Voldemort in the 4th Harry Potter film, 2005's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and he returned for 3 additional movies, Order of the Phoenix and Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2. A few years before HBO announced it was rebooting Harry Potter as a television series, Fiennes told Variety that he would definitely be up for playing He Who Shall Not Be Named again, and there was no question about it. He's fantastic, don't get me wrong, but he's a little old now, I think. Give it to somebody else. Recast everybody. I don't think they should bring anybody back, to be honest with you. Variety reported last month that Bridge of Spies Oscar winner Mark Rylance is being eyed by HBO to play Dumbledore in the Harry Potter series. Warner Bros. Television hasn't yet entered into negotiations with the actor at the time, but has reached out to gauge his interest in the project and his availability. No other casting information for the series has been reported on at this time. Actually, we're about to get into that. And it goes on, blah, 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 about... They always have to mention J.K. Rowling's views on a certain small sect of people that just always want to mention it anytime they bring her name up. It's freaking ridiculous. Just let her go, man. Who cares? Bro, nobody cares, bro. I want to see because I've heard... okay. This guy? So this is who they're talking about possibly playing Dumbledore. You can see a picture of them right there. Sure. There's AI to make him look like Dumbledore. Whatever. I have never seen... Obviously, he's older. I'm sure he's been in stuff. Whatever Bridge of Spies is. Never been in anything I watched. So I wouldn't have, like... Sometimes I see people in roles and I'm like, oh, that's whoever. Like, whatever character they played before. And it's hard for me to, like, break that from my mind, So, cool. Whatever. He would work. Like I said, I've never seen him act before, but why not? Something different, At the time, I didn't know who either one of the Dumbledores were. Now I do. The second Dumbledore, because if people don't remember, the first actor, and I feel bad, I forget his name. The first actor who portrayed Dumbledore in The Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets, he passed away before they started filming The Prisoner of Azkaban, so he was replaced. And that actor portrayed Dumbledore for the next, 6 movies after that. So, and then I saw him in a couple of things after that. I know one of them was Sleepy Hollow. So, the other Harry Potter casting story, I'm not going to get his name right. I've seen him in things before. Papa Isedu eyed to play Severus Snape in HBO's Harry Potter TV show. Here we go, boys. The British I May Destroy You actor is being eyed for a fan-favorite role in the eagerly anticipated fantasy series. Maybe not eagerly anymore. Whatever thing they're trying to be ironic with a fake spell, whatever. HBO is circling British actor Papa Isedu to play one of the hottest TV roles being cast this year. The I May Destroy You actor is up for the role of Professor Severus Snape in HBO's Harry Potter TV series, multiple sources tell The Hollywood Reporter. Sources say the actor has been offered the part, although it is not clear if negotiations have begun in earnest. Snape is the wicked, smart, and casually cruel Hogwarts potions master who comes across as the story's primary antagonist in the show's first season, which will be based upon author J.K. Rowling's 1997 debut novel, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or if you're in England, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. The role was famously played by the late Alan Rickman across 8 Warner Bros. Films. So far, no actors have been officially cast in the Harry Potter series, which is aiming for a 2026 debut, although Bridge of Spies actor Mark Rylance is close to being signed for the critical role of the wise and powerful headmaster Albus Dumbledore. The show is hot enough to conjure up several actor rumors, although the ones summoning Cillian Murphy for the lead role of Lord Voldemort are not correct, sources add. Well, hopefully this one isn't correct either. Isedu started his career at the Royal Shakespeare Company, where he played title role in productions of Hamlet and King Lear. Okay. He's since had roles in the films Murder on the Orient Express and Men, and in TV shows Gangs of London, The Lazarus Project, and the Black Mirror episode Demon 79. I don't remember him in Murder on the Orient Express. I can't remember who he played. It promised that the series would have a diverse cast. The films were sometimes criticized for having an entirely white core cast and will presumably lead to a rather fresh take on the character. HBO said about it, "We appreciate that such a high-profile series will draw a lot of rumors and speculation. As we make our way through pre-production, we will only confirm details as we finalize deals." Yeah, people posted a picture of Severus Snape from like book art and Alan Rickman as him, and next to this guy, and they're like the resemblance is uncanny. It's my God, I just, why do they always have to do this? I don't mind if half of Hogwarts is black, but you're taking these characters that were very well described in the book and were famously played in a previous iteration not too long ago, by the way, just like less than 20 years ago, Alan Rickman played Snape. And you're like, nah, we're going to race swap him. Everybody was thinking it was going to be Hermione. That's been the joke forever. Who's getting race swapped in the Harry Potter series? Looks like it's going to be Severus Snape. He wasn't on my bingo card, but there you go. All these ones that are thinking that, the Harry Potter show is going to be dead before it even starts because of the stuff that J.K. Rowling says about troons and whatever. No. What's that? People have proven they don't really give a damn about that at all. What's going to kill this show is something like that. People are going to be like, this is not what I read. This is not like the movies. I'm good. At that point, just race swap half the freaking main cast. By the way, don't they usually like casting, like if they're going to race swap a character or put a black main character in there, don't they like them? I realize Snape eventually has a redemption arc, but he's kind of an a-hole, throughout most of the books. Do they really want to do that with a black actor? Normally they only do that with the whites. But I guess we'll see how it goes. Hopefully this is just an unfounded rumor, but everybody's picking it up and running with it now. We'll see. So I had a couple more stories. One, excuse me. One set of stories I might not get to, but we'll see how much time we have at the end when I'm finished here. It's about fantasy books that I really don't know that much about. That they're getting picked up to be made into movies or television series or whatever, which I always like that. I actually just finished an audiobook for A Wizard of Earthsea. I made a video about it. I'm going to post here real soon. And like I wasn't a big fan of it. I did watch Tales of Earthsea from Studio Ghibli. Nothing like the books. The author even said that. She's like, this is not what I wrote. This is not my story. But I did a review of the audiobook. I'm going to post my full review of it probably tomorrow. Hoping. If not, then I'm going to post it Monday. But if you guys want to check out my latest videos, I just posted one today on the Mass Effect sequel already being doomed before they even announced anything about it. Yesterday I posted about GameStop employees unfortunately getting the boot. It's in Germany, so Das Boot, right before Christmas. Like just a ton of stores shutting down and employees getting fired. GameStop has been not doing well for years now. I'm shocked that people are still taking jobs there, but I guess you take what you can get. Also yesterday, 2 days ago, was that Monday? I'm getting my days mixed up. The 3rd, yeah, so that would have been Monday, right? Tuesday, gosh. Tuesday, I posted my review of Wicked, the movie. I watched the movie after watching the full musical, and I talk about that. I don't give any spoilers to the movie, so if you don't want any spoilers, I just kind of run down what the plot is, kind of to set it up so I can comment on it, but I don't spoil anything, really. If you want to go see it, it wasn't bad. I didn't crap on it. I crap on the actresses and their weird-ass press tour that they're on for the movie, but I didn't crap on the movie itself. And then I also posted about Elon Musk threatening to buy Hasbro and getting his hands on Dungeons & Dragons finally. So, but yeah, there's that. But yeah, just definitely go check out my Mass Effect video from today. That's on YouTube and Rumble. I also posted today about Idris Elba. Speaking of race swap casting, Idris Elba got cast for the Masters of the Universe movie for Amazon MGM. He's going to be Man-at-Arms. If anybody is familiar with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, you'll know he is very white. And Tila is supposed to be his daughter, but Tila is being played by an Hispanic girl, so she's going to be his adopted daughter in the movie. And then I also post about The Witcher 4 having big news. That these are all short form videos, by the way. The Witcher 4 has some big news as they are entering into production now, like full scale production for the Witcher 4 game. And Cyberpunk 2077 hits a major milestone with sales and player numbers and whatever. That's all out of CD Projekt Red, so go check out that short form video. Either way, getting back to El Nuzo. This one I don't know much about, but I figured we'd learn together. It is from comicbook.com. They say, upcoming Disney Plus anime releases Cheerful promotion ahead of debut. Medalist, one of the highly anticipated anime exclusives, highlighted with Disney Plus's major acquisition for 2025, is generating buzz amongst fans with a unique promotional campaign. The official Medalist X account, has begun sharing some absolutely adorable illustrations to generate excitement among fans and those new to the series. Medalist tells the inspiring story of an 11-year-old Inori Yutsuka, who dreams of becoming a world-class figure skater despite starting too late by competitive standards and facing her mother's resistance due to past family disappointments. A chance meeting with Tsukasa Akiraji, my bad, I never saw that name before, a former ice dancer on the brink of giving up, leads him to becoming her coach and help her pursue her ambitions. Together, they embark on a journey to overcome obstacles and aim for Olympic gold, discovering Inori's extraordinary natural talent. Is that the picture? Wow, okay. Very cutesy, and honestly, innocent it should be, but you know, certain people will be gross about it. But that's for that. There's the official trailer. I'm not going to play it here. I'm assuming it's going to be subbed and dubbed. I don't know. I'm not into sports animes. That Blue Lock is very popular. But it's about soccer. I think they have powers, maybe. I really don't know. I just don't care. There's one about basketball, I believe, and I think there's a volleyball one that's pretty popular. I just never got into them. I know Blue Lock, I'm pretty sure, is like the most popular. There's also a boxing one that looks okay. But, again, I just... sports animes are not really my thing. If this looks cool. Let's see. As a common theme in anime, Medalist explores the powers of perseverance and the pressures of societal expectations, especially when it comes to chasing one's dreams. For fans of recent hit anime from 2024, like Kaiju number 8, Medalist explores defying age norms in pursuing one's dream. In Kaiju number 8, for those of you, I made some videos about it when it came out. I'm waiting for season 2 of that one. It's great. The guy's too old because like the cutoff of age for like entering the I'm not going to tell you what they're called now, but basically the squad that fights the kaiju, like the Kaiju Defense Force, I think it's what it's called. The cutoff is like 31, and he is 31, and then they change the age, so he's able to try out again, and he just like barely squeaks in on a technicality, and it picks up the story from there. So I forget the main character's name. I haven't seen the show in months and months and months, so just out of my brain. But yeah, if you're into sports animes, cutesy little ones, you can. If you want a starter anime for your kids, especially like a little girl or something, a little boy might not be into this, but if you got like a little girl, for the boys, start them with like Dragon Ball Z or some kind of shonen anime like that. That's relatively harmless. Dragon Ball Z is the first one that comes to mind. That one or Naruto, I'd say, is another good one to start them with. With girls, this one looks like a good starting point if you wanna watch a cutesy little young anime that a girl might enjoy. There you go, and it's on Disney Plus. Getting into the last anime story I have here, we're coming up on the end of the stream, but I have been covering stories about anime piracy for a while here. I just wanted to touch on this one. I love that picture where it's like that waving cat you always see in like Chinese restaurants is like narrowing its eyes like But Japan's using AI to fight manga and anime piracy. Despite sales thriving with One Piece as the best-selling manga of all time, piracy for both the print and anime medium remains at large. As anime's popularity continues to boom across the globe, so too do the rates of video piracy, as sneaky fans will do anything to avoid paying for their favorite shows. That's terrible. Japan is now cracking down on anime and manga piracy with revolutionary new technology. Per NHK, the Japanese Agency for Cultural Affairs has allocated 300 million yen, or $2 million. Jeez, that exchange rate is crazy. To fighting online piracy and investing in new AI software. The program is still in development, but the aim is for AI to detect pirated materials as soon as it's posted online. According to statistics released by the Agency for Cultural Affairs, anime and manga piracy causes an estimated 2 trillion yen, or $133.8 million, in yearly damages. The AI will reportedly be able to detect pirate sites by studying advertisement formatting, which allows these sites to operate for free. Additionally, the software will also allow rights holders to quickly apply for pirated content to be removed. In a statement, the Agency for Cultural Affairs says there are limitations to finding pirated sites with the human eye, as it takes time and cost. We would like to develop effective countermeasures to reduce pirated sites and protect rights holders. Yeah, and I talked about Netflix in the past also cracking down. Online anime and manga piracy is a global problem, and the Japanese Agency for Cultural Affairs is far from the only organization funding new anti-piracy software. Webtoon has developed the Toon Radar, which embeds information into the code of webtoons. This then allows them to track down the source of leaks. And then back in August, Netflix and Crunchyroll were targets of one of the biggest anime leaks ever. Then unreleased projects like Terminator Zero, Dan to Dan, and Ranma 1/2 were shared online with the watermarks blurred. To combat this, Netflix recently issued a subpoena to the online messaging app Discord. The subpoena compelled Discord to pass on information sufficient to identifying the individual users of the account at JaceJohns4N, responsible for the unauthorized posting of a copyright-protected image on or around November 12, 2024, and demanded the legal name, home address, telephone number, email, and IP addresses. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it is breaking the law, so I can't... A lot of people will be like, oh, screw them, and Discord should have given them the middle finger, and whatever. I mean, it is illegality taking place on their on their platform. So I think they're fully justified in that. As tempting as you may find it to want to watch a free show, online piracy hurts the creators most of all. This is especially true in the anime community, where most manga-based shows are the vision of a single artist. Online leaks drastically damage the overall success of a series. Studios look at viewership and sales figures to determine if an IP is popular enough for renewal. So if you want to get your hands on more seasons of your new favorites, you're best off watching them the official way. Yada, yada, I get it. Quit lecturing me. We get it. We know. Thank you, Mom. But, I don't know. Like I said, they are right. I don't know. I get it. There's nothing wrong with what they're saying, what they're doing. They are very correct that is a-hole behavior. You're stealing, whatever. I just don't like to be told what to do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean, Vern? But yeah, anime piracy has been increasing, I feel, lately, and there's so many websites and so many ways to go about things. I don't know. They're bringing AI into it, but AI isn't perfect. AI is it's going to catch a lot, but I don't think it's going to catch everything. But I guess we'll have to sit back and wait and see how it goes for these different organizations. I will say, like I said, it's a-hole behavior. They're totally in the right to do all of this. I don't know. Whether or not you like the individual companies doesn't really make it right or not. I'm just going to say that because a lot of people hate Crunchyroll for one reason or another. I don't have a problem with them. I'm just saying. But, okay, I guess I will cover these last two stories just to wrap things up. I'm at my 1 hour or 1.5 hour mark, but whatever. F it. Let's do it. I'll go through them quickly. Deadline has both these stories. Netflix wins 7-figure auction for Callie Hart's book talk sensation, Quicksilver. I've heard of book talk. They said that's very good to in promoting your books. Book talk, Instagram. I don't know what the book talk, by the way, is. Like it's like hashtags on TikTok. It's like a corner of TikTok. For boomers out there. And same thing with Instagram. I don't remember what it is on Instagram. I know YouTube has like BookTube and stuff like that, where it's just like keywords and hashtags and stuff like that you would use for your stuff to promote it. Apparently it's very good. Either way, and it's good to know because I'm a aspiring author. Exclusive. In heated competition, Netflix has optioned the rights to Callie Hart's fantasy romance book talk phenom novel Quicksilver. Deadline. Here's This is a 7-figure deal. Elizabeth Cantillon will produce for the Cantillon Company. Hart will be the executive producer. Well, that's good. Keep the author involved. WME brokered the deal. Don't care. TikTok's mention of Quicksilver amassed 3 million views in the first 2 months alone. Hart is the author of the Blood and Roses and Dirty Nasty Freaks series. Sounds like a winner. Quicksilver, the first title in the Fae and Alchemy series, became a #1 bestseller on Amazon after debuting last summer. It's about a human rebel who binds herself to a handsome Fae warrior after inadvertently reopening a gateway between realms. Cool. Publishing rights to the Quicksilver trilogy were sold by WME on a 10-bidder auction to Leah Holtenschmidt, okay, at Forever. Don't care. UK rights were sold to blah, 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 blah. Don't care. It's been sold in 24 languages so far. Cool. This kind of success harkens back years ago when Stephanie Meyer sold her Twilight novels, and Susan Collins did the same with The Hunger Games. Those movies helped fuel book sales and vice versa, and Netflix bought itself a fine opportunity to create a film series for its global subscription base. Yeah, so it's not my kind. I love fantasy. Love it. That's basically all I read is fantasy. I do not like romance fantasy. Don't care about it. Don't care for it. Not going to read it. Whatever. What's the one that's going around? A Court of Let's see. A Court of Thorns and Roses. That's it. Book series by what the hell is her name? Sarah J. Maas. Yeah, okay. There's A Court of Thorns and Roses is the first book, and then A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Wings and Ruin, A Court of Frost and Starlight, and A Court of Silver Flames. Yeah, so they're all they're all romance, whatever. And then there's also Crescent City. I don't know the author of that one. Crescent City series. No, stupid phone thought I was talking to it. That's also by Sarah J. Maas. Okay. Well, okay, so Sarah J. Maas just loves writing fantasy romance. I have to see what she looks like just because I want to see if she fits the stereotype. Okay, no, she's a very young woman. Okay. She's a young, not ugly woman. Okay. Here for anybody. There. Okay. She doesn't look like the Gooner Queen or something. She's just a young woman who she looks youngish, my age maybe, and she likes writing romantic whatever. What is this one? The Pitfalls of Book Talks Love. I don't know. Are these hers? Yeah, these are all hers. Oh gosh, what the hell is this series now? I'm assuming it's all one series. I don't know. She writes a lot. They're all fantasy romance, whatever, and it's very popular. I'm not going to sit here and crap on it. It's just not my bag, man. I read like stuff like Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones it's Song of Ice and Fire, whatever. I just recently read, the first book in the Earthsea series. There's another one I just started called A Study in Drowning. I don't really know anything about it, but it's young adult fantasy. I'm going to see how it goes. We'll go from there, I guess. The Brandon Sanderson, the Stormlight Archive. Those books, I like them. The Witcher series, I like them. That kind of stuff. I may try to get into the Wheel of Time eventually, but we'll see how that one goes as well. Brandon Sanderson has other series, too. I'm writing multiple fantasy series, so that's what I get into. None of them are romance at all. I don't need bedroom scenes in my fantasy. I don't need two characters just falling in love, just the Romeo and Juliet style in my fantasy. I just do not care. But anyway, last story here. It kind of ties in there a little bit. Colin Callender's Playground nabs Alan Moore's fantasy book, The Great When, as part of genre expansion and shift to multi-season series. Another exclusive for Deadline. For the first time in my career, I'm genuinely excited and enthusiastic about a work of mine, one that I own, and believe could work marvelously in a different medium being adapted for the screen, Watchmen author Alan Moore says in a rare quote about this new fantasy novel, The Great When, getting a TV adaptation. In a competitive bidding situation, Colin Callender's production company Playground has landed the rights to the book by the famous graphic novelist, which was published October 1st by Bloomsbury. The Great When is the first in Moore's planned 5-volume long London series of epic fantasy novels that Playground plans to adapt into a tentpole multi-season event series. On what streaming service? I'm assuming it's going to be streaming service, right? It is part of the company's pivot from its early focus on TV, movies, and miniseries based on big IP like Wolf Hall and King Lear, designed to attract big stars like Anthony Hopkins and Mark Rylance to ongoing series. Playground has 6 current series, a record for the 12-year-old company. All but one of them, the second installment of Wolf Hall, currently airing on BBC, are intended to be returning. Okay, so is this one also going to be on BBC? Because I don't know if I'll watch it then. That includes flagships All Creatures Great and Small, currently in pre-production on Season 6 for Channel 5, and PBS Masterpiece, on which Callender says, quote, "We have a commitment to go to 8 seasons. The Hardacres, Channel 5, and the upcoming Small Town Big Story, Sky, Linley, BBC and BritBox, and Maigret, on PBS Masterpiece. Known mainly for British period dramas, Playground is expanding into new genres with Chris O'Dowell's Small Town Big Story, its first comedy series, and The Great When, its first fantasy series. The latter has a strong British period element. Okay, just to say what it is. In it, amidst the smog of post-World War II London, emerges Dennis Knuckleyard, quite a name, a young clerk employed by a second-hand bookshop. One day, on an errand to acquire books for sale, Dennis comes into the possession of a novel that simply does not exist. It is a fiction book from the Great Wen, a nightmarish imaginary realm that is the supernatural counterpart to the city Dennis calls home. So, like Stranger Things, kinda? But it's in a book. Dennis has to return the book or get killed. Soon, he finds himself at the center of an explosive series of events, navigating a new realm of criminals, artists, and occult figures that puts his life at risk and may alter and endanger both Londons forever. Okay, cool. I mean, it sounds fun, but they're putting it on channels like BBC and PBS Masterpiece, which, like, I wish it had a bigger expanse. Like, you're gonna put it like someplace where I don't like to have to go search things out, you know. And like, if you're on a streaming service, it's easy to pick up, whatever, fine. I'll go out of my way. If I want to check it out, I'll pay for it for a little bit and blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, I'm not gonna go watch the BBC. I'm not gonna watch PBS Masterpiece, whatever. So, I don't know. But good for them, I guess. I'll keep my eye out to see what happens about this. I see that fantasy is really selling. I fear, though, with stuff like the books of Sarah J. Maas becoming so popular that now fantasy, or like romance fantasy, is going to be the new genre de jour, and everybody's going to start producing romance fantasy, and it just like on for TV and movies, which I just have no interest in. I guess it's new, it's different, whatever, but I don't care. I don't want to see Twilight in a more fantastical element. I don't want to see like medieval versions of Twilight, basically. I don't care. Wow, my camera, is that in delay? Okay, that must have happened a while ago because it seems fine now. Sorry. Either way, that about does it, y'all. I am gonna call it quits. I apologize for my camera. It's been messing up off and on. The frame rates, I'm gonna try to figure out what the hell's going on with that, because it looks like I've been having some issues. Been lagging a little bit, and I apologize about that. If you guys notice anything, let me know. Hopefully it wasn't hopefully it wasn't hard to watch all stream. I'll say that. I appreciate you being with me on Rumble or Kick or YouTube, wherever you are. Please like the channel, follow me wherever you are. I'm on all social media, like I said. If you look over here, X and Instagram, it's at marks_on_media. I'm also on Gab, True Social, Blue Sky, Getter. I'm anywhere. Just search for Marks on Media. You'll find my logo. I'm there. I'm also on Facebook right there. Facebook.com/Marks on Media Tube. You can find me there. Obviously, Rumble and YouTube is where I post all my VODs, and that's wherever I go live. So, but thank you all for tuning in today. I appreciate it. This has it's been fun, and keep an eye out for my latest videos. Like I said, I'm going to try to post my review of A Wizard of Earthsea, my first ever book review in video form, coming up hopefully tomorrow. If not, I'm going to try to post it Monday. But thank you all again. I have been Troy for Marks on Media. I'll see you next time.